Today I have a review of the new Olight PL-2 Balder weapon light from Olight. This takes the PL-2, which I have here, I reviewed last year, and adds a red laser onto the bottom. A few things in the light itself were improved upon in addition to that laser. Thanks to Olight for sending this to me to take a look at. Packaging is similar to Olight's other lights from 2018. It's a white cardboard box with texture and a picture of the light printed on the outside. On the back, you have stats about the runtime and the specs of the light. I kind of prefer if Olight would relocate the barcode that goes on top of the box here, because when you open the package using the tearaway here, that top flap gets lost easily. I put mine inside the box, as you can see down there. Accessories include the light itself, 2 batteries which I have installed, a small hex wrench for adjustment, a 1913 rail. The Glock rail comes pre-installed, and if you don't know, the Glock adapter here is slightly smaller than a 1913. The Glock adapter will still work on a 1913, but you get a little bit of movement, and I'll show that here a little bit later. So construction is very similar to the original PL-2. We can kind of see the similarities there in the back end especially, and the sides pretty similar too. The heads look identical. The anodizing finish of this light looks the same, but I found that it cleans up easier. I sprayed mine down with Ballistol when I came back from the range, let it sit for about 15 minutes while cleaning other things, and the powder residue on the front came off real easily. On my original PL-2, you can see still have some powder residue on there that just kind of struggles to come off. Definitely clean your lights right when you get home from the range. The longer you let it sit, the harder it will become to clean. The buttons here appear to be the same. They aren't tail click buttons, they're clicked from the side. The battery door opens the same as well. You pull up this little metal tab, and then the back of the light lifts up like that, where you have your batteries. While I have this open, you can see little springs down in there. Those help the light and the battery stay stabilized. You also have positive and negative contact reminders on the lid, which I really like. These back contacts look like they're fixed solid, but they actually move down just a little bit if you press on them. To reattach the light, it's super easy. You just lift up that little metal door again, you push the back in, and you lock it down, you're done. When you do have this mounted on a weapon, you will need to remove it to change the battery, which is easy. That's something that's been changed on this model. This quick release lever is still there, and it still works really well. With the PL-2, one of the kind of problems was you could open this lever up and the light would just drop free. That means if it's got caught snagged or anything like that, your light would drop free. With the PL-2, the latch system is similar, but just a little bit different. It's spring-loaded now. You can see how that moves. And what that means is when it's attached and locked in place, it's super solid, not going anywhere. When you unlatch it, you can see it's still attached there, still not going anywhere. You have to hit it pretty hard to get it to pop off. So that way, hopefully if it ever came unlatched, which I don't think it will, it's still on your light and you can attach it before it drops to the ground. One thing I dislike is this light has a bright yellow warning sticker about the laser that features the indicators and the modes. I wish this was done differently. I understand there's probably import and legal restrictions regarding the laser, but I wish the mode indicators were engraved into the metal here. It would be a more permanent solution, and this yellow sticker on here really isn't very tactical at all. I think most people will probably end up removing it. I'll probably either get a paint marker or end up cutting the sticker so I can have it be all black. The PL-2 isn't a small weapon light, and the PL-2RL is even bigger. It adds quite a bit of bulk to the light, the laser does. Here it is on a full-size pistol. You can see it still sticks out a little bit, but you're still under the trigger guard of this full-size Glock here. It adds weight, definitely, especially with those batteries in there. Just something to keep in mind when you're selecting it. Here it is on a Glock 19. You can see it's still pretty big. It sticks out quite a bit, and it sticks underneath quite a bit. In my opinion, it's almost too big for a Glock 19, just that laser sticking down, but it still does work, provides quite a bit of weight. Here it is on your dollar bill to kind of show you how big it is also. And here I have it mounted on an AR-9 pistol, and you can see it works decently here. Moves back and forth some right now because I've got that Glock rail attached to it since I've been putting it on pistols, other pistols. But it works pretty well on the AR-9. I imagine this is where mine will live here on the bottom of the AR-9. I just think it fits a little bit better with the profile of the gun and won't get caught and snagged on things. I think it's also easier to grab down here as I'm holding it. I can easily tap it on, and I got laser light. I shot it this way quite a bit during testing and liked it quite a bit. Length of the PL-2RL is 83 millimeters, width is 36.5 millimeters, and depth is 48 millimeters. Depth of the PL2 was only 30.5 millimeters, so you can see that difference there. Weight with batteries of the PL2 was 116 grams. Weight with batteries of the PL2RL is 140 grams, an increase of 24 grams. The light is IPX6 water rated, so it should do fine in heavy rain or if it's dropped in a puddle and removed quickly, but this isn't a diving light. So one important question that you have with a light that has a laser, or anytime you put any type of optic like this on your firearm, is will it hold a zero? And in my testing, the answer was yes. I tested the light on a couple different Glocks chambered in 45 ACP, 10 millimeter and 9 millimeter. I also tested it on an AR-9 pistol. We didn't zero it on every firearm, but we did on the 10 millimeter and the AR-9. And after the first few shots, on the very first firearm, it held its position well. And when we took it back to the last firearm, which was the first, it still held its zero. I know Olight had a few initial issues with early PL2s and 10 millimeter, and we didn't have any issues after running it through a variety of rounds. To adjust the zero, you've got two set screws, one located here and the other located at the bottom. You put in the supplied Allen wrench and you twist. One thing I would improve on is when adjusting the elevation and windage, some clicks would be real nice in there. Right now it's just screws, so you can't really feel when it's adjustable, and you have to kind of guess. It's just a little bit of guess and check. It would make it better if you knew each click was, say, 1 MOA, more like a conventional scope or other type optic. You can zero it without shooting around at home. If you have iron sights lined up, you just turn it on laser only mode here and look down your iron, or in this case plastic sights, till you see the laser, and then zero it on the wall. It's pretty simple to do. Make sure your gun's unloaded and point it in a safe direction, as always. The PL-2RL is advertised as producing 1200 lumens through a Cree XHP 35 HI LED in cool white. However, those are peak lumens. Like many high output flashlights, the PL-2RL will step down in brightness to 400 lumens after 1.5 minutes at turbo. The runtime then is an additional 100 to 105 minutes depending on if the laser is on or off. In mode 2, when the light is on at a constant 400 lumens, runtime is increased to 105 to 120 minutes, depending if the light is on or the laser is on or off. The lens here is glass with a plastic TIR style reflector behind it. It creates a very hot center, minimizing spill. The Olight PL-2RL can use 2 CR123A batteries or rechargeable RCR123As. If using the rechargeables, runtime won't be as long. This is one case where I would recommend primary batteries for longer shelf life, and because the runtimes will be longer due to the reduced capacity of the rechargeable batteries. The laser here on the bottom is a 5 milliwatt red laser that's similar at 15 yards to a 3 MOA red dot. It's running at 645 to 655 nanometer wavelength. Max runtime of laser only is 75 hours. Having the laser on doesn't change runtime much of the XHP35 LED. Olight lists the difference in mode 1 at 1200 lumens and then 400 lumens after 1.5 minutes of only 5 minutes if the laser is on. In mode 2, constant 400 lumens, the runtime difference of the laser is 15 minutes or less. The beam shots are identical to the PL2. It's got a large, hot center and throws decently well. The laser seems to be pretty well centered when running in that mode here, and the light is perpendicular. So here are my night shots for the Olight PL-2RL model. And we can see here it's got the red laser. And this is the same place I tested the normal PL2. So if you haven't seen that video, please go back and reference it, because I've compared that to a Streamlight of similar model. But you can see here I've got it on the same red laser mode here, and it's about 100 yards here would be my guess. So you can see that red laser, it shows up pretty well on camera. Past 100 yards, the laser is not the strongest. If I switch it over here, we get light plus laser, and that actually showing up real well, it looks like. So you can see it's a fairly big beam pattern. This is that full lumen power, and it will step down. And this does have strobe when in the full red laser and light mode. Or we can switch it over to just light mode. It's a real easy interface there. So just light, red laser, or laser plus light. So to kind of compare the two, I've got the PL-2RL on the left, and I've got the PL2 on the right. Very similar beam patterns, brightness levels. They're the same with the exception of that laser. So just at a little bit shorter range here, you can see. This light uses the same side-to-side toggle as the PL2 has. They work best to push from the side. They don't really work to push directly down. If you long press on either switch, you get momentary on. And if you short press, the light locks on. You can press both and you get strobe. And that doesn't work if it's on laser only mode here. The laser just comes on. I'm going to say this like the light is mounted on your gun, but show you the opposite. So I'll actually point it at me so it's the same. When the selector is all the way to the left, you get laser only. It'll come on with either left or right buttons. Pinching each button doesn't turn on strobe, it just turns the laser on. When the selector switches in the center, you get light plus laser. This mode, when you pinch both, you get the strobe, and the laser stays on the entire time. And when on the right, you get light only. In this mode, it works exactly like the PL2, giving you momentary with a longer press or constant on with a quick press, or strobe with both. The pros, I like the button feel and the tactile audible nature of the click. That quick release battery door is really nice. The improved tool-free quick disconnect system, I think, is a fantastic improvement. It's very sturdy and solid now. And it's high performance, but can't sustain it due to heat and battery life. The cons are the addition of the laser makes this light quite a bit larger, as you can see here in physical size. Holster options will be limited, meaning you will probably have to have one custom made. And it uses CR123A batteries, which are kind of pricey. And the strobe interface isn't ideal, requiring you to press both buttons at the same time, which is a little hard to do when on a gun. My conclusion is I've enjoyed testing the Olight weapon lights. For me, they've worked well with a variety of guns and platforms and calibers. The PL-2RL is a nice addition to the line. Its downfall is its size. Even on a full-size pistol, it's fairly big. For me, it's probably going to live on my AR platforms due to its size and having to get a custom holster. I like the addition of the laser. It makes aiming under the right conditions a little quicker and easier once you have it zeroed in. You could also hand it to somebody who maybe isn't quite as familiar, and they should be able to operate it pretty well too. I like the Norse mythology name of the PL-2RL Baldur. He's the god of light, if you don't know. Each weapon light from Olight shows their growth in knowledge and experience in this segment of the industry, and this is what you want to see to keep making better products. Olight needs to work with holster manufacturers in advance of a light release to have better support for their weapon lights if they want a wider adoption rate, especially for people who are going to carry a weapon light on a pistol. I'm really interested to see what they come up with next. I'll have a link in the description below to where you can pick up the Olight PL-2RL in case you want one. If you've got one or a PL2, let me know what you think of it. As always, thank you for watching these videos. Liking and subscribing to my channel helps me to continue to bring videos like this to you.